I'm Annie Camacho, and I just turned 45. He did the stem cell injections into my knees, both my knees. Difficult at times, for sure. I am a mother of 3 kids who are very active in sports. I have coached volleyball on and off my entire life. I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I try to stay very active. I try to work out a lot. I try to run a lot. And in the last couple years, it's been getting progressively harder because of my knee and my knee pain. We have a 2-story home, and going up and down the stairs was getting harder and harder for me. I would kind of flop from stair to stair. If I was carrying a cup of coffee or something, it was getting spilled. Like there was no way I could go down the stairs like a normal person would. And I mean, even like if I would sit at my desk for too long at work and then I would get up, my first few steps would be hard, and I felt like at my age that shouldn't be happening. Walking down to the office even, to make copies or whatever. Like by the time I would get back some days, the kids would be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, it's fine. My knees just hurt," Yeah. And one small thing that I kind of had grown, accustomed to, but now is gone, getting out of my car. So we have a lot of cars in our garage, and the space is kind of tight. And then the way I would have to twist my leg and get out of the car, like I would kind of brace myself, like knowing, all right, it's going to hurt when I would get out of the car. I had gotten to the point, so Dr. Tambar did a procedure on my husband's back a couple years ago, and totally, night and day difference for him. And he's been telling me, you need to go see Dr. Tambar. And I would, no, I'm fine. And I got to the point this winter that I like to, be physically active for my own health and my own mental health. And I was getting to the point that I was having a hard time exercising. I was having a hard time getting on the treadmill. If I would run for 30 minutes, I couldn't walk for 3 days because my knees were hurting so bad. And it was starting to take a toll on my own health and like my overall health, I should say. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, it's time. This is silly, And my husband kept saying to me, like, you are going to regret it. Like when you finally do it, you're going to say, why didn't I do this 5 years ago? And I'm already like, why didn't I do this sooner? For me, it was just, what if I go through this and it doesn't work? You know what I mean? That it would, after seeing my husband's results, and seeing how life-changing it was for him. So I don't think I had any major concerns. I don't want to do this, but at the same time, I was like, if I go ahead and do this and it works, this is so much better than having, knee replacements down the road. Exactly. I would so much rather do this, and I feel like it's a better alternative. So. First of all, working with you and Dr. Tambar's staff was wonderful. You guys, you definitely bent over backwards to give, how do I want to say this? Like I knew exactly what I was getting into. Like you made me feel very comfortable. You were so helpful. If I had a question, I immediately got a response. I felt really good going into it. That day, everything went exactly how you told me it was going to go. It was easier, honestly, than I thought it was going to be. I feel like anytime you're having like the bone marrow draw, that was a little intimidating to me at first. But once we got there and everyone was so, warm and welcoming and understanding, that all just kind of, faded away, and it was easy. I don't know. Everyone was just super helpful. Recovery, I did go to work the next day. It was on the painful side, but I did a lot of sitting the next day. And I knew we only had a half day of school. So I was like, I can make it through a half day. I'll be fine. So I sat at my desk most of the day and it was pretty easy. So I was back to work by the following Monday with no, like, you could not tell that I had had the procedure done the week before. I would say, you know, in the beginning, I was like, wow, do they really feel better already? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my gosh, do they really feel that? Like, this can't be happening. But I would say definitely about 2 weeks, I started to feel a difference. And I know that was the first thing I noticed, like that they weren't as tender when I would get home from work. And then when I started reintroducing activity and going to physical therapy, I was like, I could not do the things that I'm doing now before. Last summer, I was doing a lot of CrossFit workouts and such, and I was having to modify all the movements because to make it something that my body could handle. And I can squat farther now than I've probably been able to squat in 5 years. I did a pretty good job of following the rubric that Dr. Tambar gave after the procedure. So I can't remember exactly, but I want to say that it was 2 weeks. I mean, I just did a really good job of reading my body. And if I felt pain higher than a 2, I would stop what I was doing. But I pretty quickly hopped on that elliptical machine easily. You know, I was definitely not overdoing it. I was trying to, you know, go slow and pace it. And after my last appointment with Dr. Tambar, he released me to start running again. So I've been doing my return run protocol and getting some steps back in on the treadmill. So that feels awesome. And I know this sounds silly, but the stairs in our home are such a big deal to me. I mean, even my kids have made comments about how I don't think they even realized how awkwardly I was going up and down the stairs until I can do it regularly. And I feel like that's just been huge. I am so excited. Like, even though I'm just starting with some interval work on the treadmill, like when I get off there, my knees don't hurt at all. Like, and it is just, I don't know. It's hard to describe. When I guess I've been dealing with it for so long and now they feel better, and I didn't realize it was possible to feel better. The last doctor that I saw locally basically told me I had to give up all activity. I don't want to do that. And so she painted a pretty grim picture for me. So the fact that Dr. Tambar was able to give me some movement back is just fantastic. And I'm excited to start. I am a teacher. And so in the summer, that's when I meet with my teacher friends every morning and we do our workouts and whatever. So I'm so excited to get started with those next week and show them what I can do now that I can do things again. I think just do it. You know, like I mentioned earlier, don't wait, because you're going to think, why didn't I do this before? You know, you're going to save years of your life that could have been better had you just went ahead and done it. And there's nothing to be scared of. Like, it is a super easy process. Everyone is super accommodating and makes you feel safe and taken care of the entire time. And why not start feeling better?